Today we'll look into another new item in effective Java. This is regarding avoiding the unnecessary use of checked exceptions. So we all use checked exceptions in our programs in our project. So in at what all conditions we are supposed to be using checked exceptions in the APIs. So because we know from the previous items, so that adding a checked exception to an API adds an extra overhead on the consumer of that particular API. So basically the consumer needs to handle that error condition when that exception occurs. So this makes very much important that whenever we decide to throw in checked exception, we need to be very much clear whether the programmer can handle that exception properly. If you are not clear about how he can handle the exception, or we don't have a clear idea, then we should prefer unchecked exception. So adding a checked exception, uh, it adds an overhead. So how it can add overhead? So let's say one of your API method throws an checked exception, right? So when the consumer is using, so he has to put that into a try catch block, and let's say in his whole implementation the only API method only one API method is throwing the exception. In that case he has to put the whole logic into a try catch block. So this reduces the readability and makes the code complex. So we need to be more careful regarding when we are throwing a checked exception. So one technique of avoiding throwing the checked exception when we are not clear how the user can handle this is by dividing the API into two methods. In the previous one of the items we already saw this. So how we can do that? So let's see an example. Probably you remember, like in one of the array list we have the iterator, right? So in the iterator we have these two methods, next. The other method is has next. So this next and has next methods, these are all divided into two methods. Basically the operation which was intended was to give the next element. So before calling the next, the consumer of the API is supposed to call the has next. So this is basically done to avoid the user forcing the user to handle a exception. So before calling next, the user will call the has next, so he need not handle any exception, because once has next returns true, that means there are elements, and he can safely call the next. So this will, of course, this will avoid few more lines of code in the consumer of the API, but it will avoid handling the exception, and in most of the cases user will not be sure how to handle those cases. So this is one of the way we can avoid throwing the exception, unchecked exception. And in these cases, let's say if in the next method is called and by some reason he is going out of range, then he can throw an unchecked exception. So this is one of the way. So as we saw, like we need to avoid throwing unnecessary checked exceptions, and when we are throwing we need to be very much clear when and how the user will handle these checked exceptions. Hope this is. Moving on to the next item. So this is regarding how we can use the standard exceptions, basically the standard unchecked exceptions. We need to prefer to use the standard unchecked exceptions provided by the JDK rather than creating our own. So as we saw in the previous items also, that we should always strive to reuse the existing exceptions. So basically reusing the code improves the readability of the API, and the programmer who is consuming the API, he already knows those exceptions, so learning curve is much less, and he will be easily able to consume the API. And since we are reusing the existing exceptions, so there won't be new classes, and the memory footprint will be less, and basically it will boost the performance of the application. So overall idea is to reuse the existing unchecked exceptions. So we know there are various um, unchecked exceptions which are provided out of the box by the JDK. Some of them are illegal argument exception, illegal state exception, null pointer exception, index out of bounds exception, concurrent modification exception, unsupported operation exception. Let's see them one by one. So to as an example to explore all these exceptions, so we'll go through one of the class which is HashMap, right? So interestingly, the HashMap author, one of the contributor to the HashMap is Josh himself, who is the author of this book Effective Java. So let's go through this class to understand the exceptions. So let's take illegal argument exception. So illegal argument exception you will throw when the argument which you are expecting is not in the way which you are expecting. Let's say if you are expecting in this case the initial capacity, right? So initial capacity, you want something a positive number which is greater than or equal to 0. So you don't expect a negative number here. So if you are receiving a negative number, so you will throw an illegal argument exception. So as you can see here, so we are throwing a illegal argument exception. So and along with the exception we give a proper message. So as you can see, so we are saying illegal initial capacity so and the number which we input, so that number is appended to this exception. So next exception is illegal state exception. So illegal state exception is when you call a method, and let's say you call a method on an object and that object is not prepared yet. So in those cases that method will not be able to perform the operation, so then it can throw the illegal state exception. Let's see, do we have illegal state here, right? So here we have illegal state exception. So this element P is not existing here, so which is null, so it is throwing a illegal. So moving on, so next item is null pointer exception, right? Null pointer, we know whenever we see that an action when an field or the state of an object is null, which is not assigned a value, then the null pointer exception can be thrown. So this is debatable actually, so whether we need to throw an illegal state exception or null pointer exception, this is depending on the context basically. As we saw earlier, so when it was null we were throwing illegal state exception, and here when the action is null we are throwing a null pointer exception. This is depending on the context. So since for this particular action which is provided null, so it makes sense to provide the null pointer exception, right? So we need to think about those contexts in which we want to throw these exceptions. Okay, regarding index out of bound exception, we are in ArrayList class. As you can see, for this particular method, so we are throwing an index out of bound exception. Okay, so if this condition satisfies, so we are throwing index out of bound exception. So basically when an element you want to access is out of that range, so then we are supposed to use this exception. So another exception is concurrent modification. So let's say if you have an object which is supposed to be accessed by single thread at a time, and by some reason multiple threads are trying to access and modify its state, so in those cases it can throw the concurrent modification exception. And we have another exception which is not so much used in regular implementations, which is unsupported operation exception. So when you are implementing something and let's say by some reason, um, let's say if you are implementing an interface and by some reason the implementing class doesn't support that optional operation of an interface, in those cases it can throw the unsupported operation exception. We can see that documented here in one of the classes like abstract list, for example. So for some of the implementers of these methods like add method, right? So if they don't support, so we can throw the unsupported. So in this case abstract list doesn't do much, so the actual implementation classes do the add operation. So in this case it is throwing the unsupported operation exception. One thing we need to notice here, so even though you are throwing the unchecked exception or checked exception, in both the cases we need to document the exceptions in the Java doc. This is very much important for the consumers of the API. Otherwise consumers will not be knowing like what all exception, unless they see the implementation, they are not aware like how the implementation or what all the exceptions it throws. So this makes the consumer of the API more aware of the exceptions thrown by the API. Hope this is clear. In summary, we should be reusing the existing exceptions as much as possible. So in most of the cases the existing exceptions, unchecked exceptions, satisfy most of the needs. I think this is helpful, and we'll see in the next item. Thank you all.